Yeah, I heard word around town is a poppin' off.
Hey yo, what is up everybody? It is the King Hitman, and I just want to give this should only take like 3 minutes the most, right? Maybe 4. My brief thoughts on AGL Turles EZA. I was behind the bell or whatever they say, like that phrase that just means you're late. Let me get my thoughts off on his EZA and what I expect this to do for most, like, explicitly, I guess. STRLR Turles, he's been great for a long time. I really think he's aging a lot slower than people notice. It's just the fact that he doesn't have the partner in a Turles unit that he's begging for. Example, Destroyers of the Universe gives 25% attack and 15% defense, right? Then we got these are links you can get with other units, but the Brutal Beatdowns of the World, Sand Warrior Race, Thirst for Conquest, of course, Big Bad Bosses, Prepare for Battle, Fierce Battle. This guy can go crazy alongside them, and he is obviously his best partner. The only other unit, which is still a Turles unit, that would go great with the LR would be the Int one. I'm waiting for his EZA. I think his EZA can be very useful for just as many players, even though AGL Turles is obviously old. Everybody has him, I would think. But let me give my thoughts. Leader skill, movie boss is 3 key, stats 170. That's great because the movie boss team is so good, right? So, or extreme class gets 3 key, stats 100%. That's cool. This I kind of wanted to be greatly, but super attack effect raises attack and defense for 1 turn and causes immense damage to the enemy with a medium chance to stun. This is a 30% chance to stun the enemy. Listen, the only thing we kind of asked for AGL Turles was make his defense insane. We don't really care about the offense that he's putting out for the most part. Like, we don't want him to be terrible, right? Like, that's stupid. But his defense was the main, like, we were like, just give him that. Give him absurd defense. Make him untouchable. And I'm not sure he's untouchable, but let's just keep going because I have only seen him on paper. I gotta see him in action. I don't do calculations off rip and stuff. Like, I'm not good with that. Passive skill, attack and defense 160%. He gives all allies 3 key, stats 40%, or excuse me, attack 40%. He does not give defense yet. He gives all allies 40% defense when there is a super class enemy. I do not like that at all because he's gonna be like real vulnerable, I guess, in the red zone and certain super battle road stages. I really don't know why they felt the need to. That was completely unnecessary, like almost complete. They literally did that just to make sure he had a condition. Like, that was really unnecessary. Sort of like Future Gohan. They gate kept him behind having a Future Saga Trunks. They gate kept Tech Hit by making him have Universe 6 category allies if you want that extra buff. Who am I forgetting? I guess it's really it. I don't feel like they gate kept Evolution Blue Vegeta at all, but that was weird. There was no reason for them to gatekeep the defense. Superclass enemies attack gets debuffed by 20%, and he activates the Fruit of the Tree of Might when conditions are met. Now, we do know the previous condition. The previous condition, 1 out of every 4 chance, so 25% chance to activate for 3 turns. It is not a permanent transformation. Turles is still one of the only units in the game that isn't a grade 8 that it doesn't have a it's only a short-term transformation, which is actually good for Turles. We want him to stay in this state, right? We don't really love boosted Turles when HP is 80% or below. We don't know what they're gonna buff that to. They could buff it to 40% for 4 turns. They could keep it at 3 turns. They could make it, 25% chance when HP is 85% or below. We don't know, all right? Now, when Turles is boosted when he eats the Fruit of the Tree, super attack raises it. Wait. That's interesting. He raises it permanently. Oh, okay. So Turles raises attack and defense permanently when he transforms with a high chance to stun the enemy. The reason this is interesting is because in difficult content, he would be raising his defense in this state and attack in this state, and then he would de-transform back into normal Turles. That has to carry back into, like I said, he's one of the few units that reverts, right? That's not a grade 8. That would have to carry backwards, right? You would think. I think that makes perfect sense. And causes immense damage with a high chance to stun the enemy. Passive skill, recover 20% HP, attack and defense 200%. Turles will give all allies 3 key, which was important because he actually did struggle with ki just a bit, not like crazy, but he did struggle with ki because he didn't have the same support buff, right, that he used to pre-EZA. He gets an additional defense 100% if there is a super class enemy. Super class is enemy's defense minus 80%. That's useless. Attacks effective against, I didn't know he had this, I'm going into this somewhat blind. Attacks effective against all types when HP is 80% or more. Okay, so that's weird because if he has the exact same condition as before, which was, like I said, below 80% HP for 3 turns, a 25% chance, that would mean the very first turn you see this turn, he will have 2 turns in this state, assuming they keep the 3 turn before he reverts. Hopefully they don't make it permanent. Of course, we don't want that to be permanent. That's weird. So that means Turles, the very first turn you were to see Turles transform, unless it's calculated upon attacking. If this is calculated at the start of turn, the first turn you see this, you can't trigger it. You cannot. You would have to trigger it on the next attempt to see Turles in his boosted state. Link set, of course, is the exact same. He is a perfect linking partner with his pre-transformation counterpart. I mean, you can get them to link up every once in a while. Ideally, you don't want to see either Turles transform because you're using him as the support, but I'm sure he's much better off than he was before. I'll leave it at that. I hope you guys enjoyed. I am excited. He's buffing so many teams. He's on a good amount of teams. Sometimes I remember back in the day, people used to throw him on teams just to make it work, right? So I expect this to be a very good EZA. Also, I assume his weakness is going to be low class warrior. If that's the case, it would be pretty easy to assemble a team, right? Where is he? A low class warrior team versus an A, and you know, it's based on the category, so they're not gonna make it super difficult. Bardock as your lead, you bring the tech Raditz, you bring the tech Tora, his EZA on JP, and then you bring physical LR Kaioken Goku, a physical LR Bardock's EZA. I mean, that's pretty much really that. Anything after that is whatever, right? Of course, the terrible Dokkan Fest Raditz. I'm so disappointed. You can't fold units that aren't popular, man. You can't. You just cannot do that. And they still ended up doing that. You know, he's actually a really legitimate option. The Dokkan Butoden Goku. He's aged somewhat well, very well, actually, for a free-to-play unit, especially what is supposed to be a joke card, right? Let me know you guys' thoughts. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.